We return to some breaking news. The man behind one of the deadliest mass shootings in the U.S. will spend the rest of his life in prison.
Patrick Crusius was sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences for the 2019 El Paso, Texas Walmart shooting that killed 23 people and injured 22 more. He told officials he, quote, wanted to shoot as many Mexicans as possible.
The 24-year-old pleaded guilty to federal hate crime charges. However, he could still face the death penalty in a separate state case that has yet to go to trial. For more, let's bring in CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson. Hi, Jessica. So we know the sentencing is part of a plea deal. Tell us more about that and why federal prosecutors did not seek the death penalty.
I think as a result of the plea deal, they agreed to take the death penalty off of the table in order to get this plea deal. It saves them, even if we think that guilt is very clear, it saves them the time and resources of a trial. And it still allows the victims' families their moment in court because of the sentencing proceeding. So the prosecutors laid out, as you said, these hate crime charges, also charges dealing with firearm offenses. And the defendant in this case agreed, I will plead guilty. And in exchange, the federal death penalty is not on the table. And that is a common negotiation technique.
Jessica, because this is part of a plea deal, does that essentially close the door for any possibility of an appeal?
It essentially does. Now, lawyers never say never, but in this case, the prosecutors have looked at the plea deal. The defendant has looked at it. He has agreed. A federal judge has looked at the deal and has agreed to it. And so it would be extremely difficult to unwind. Now, of course, there's another case that's going to proceed in state court, but I do not see an avenue for appeals. He will serve out the rest of his life in prison if he is, in fact, spared the death penalty in the state case.
Yeah, so that state case could put the death penalty on the table. Why is it that that case is taking so long to go to trial?
So we don't know exactly the reason for the holdup, other than that this trial and these proceedings, we should say, needed to come first. And so the state is, we hear, going to set a trial date in October or November. And look, all of this, thankfully, is uncommon, but it is not uncommon for the federal government and the state government to decide that they will work on a timeline together, meaning the federal government will enter into a plea deal. There will be sentencing. This has taken a number of days because of the victim impact statements. And then the state trial will proceed. And that's exactly what's going to happen in this case. Of course, because Texas is a state with the death penalty, that is on the table. And the district attorney has said that he will seek the death penalty there.
Jessica Levinson, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.